Terima kasih Puan. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang bahagia Datuk Ayat Dr. Dennis Ganendra, Chief Executive Officer of Minconsult. So I generalize pula. Members of Minconsult Board, or the Datuk Seri and all this, and also distinguished guests, Datuk Alima, and we have got a few participants from somewhere and all that. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to all. As we delve into today's discussion, I'd like to invite you to reflect the vibrant journey of Kuala Lumpur from a humble tin mining town to a vibrant world-class city, and it is today as evident from the screen, the skyline of Kuala Lumpur. This is the latest picture that I've got from BBJL, and from here we can see it is an amazing city, and I would say that Kuala Lumpur is eminent growth of the nation. Today's presentation, a comprehensive overview of Kuala Lumpur system. So, today's presentation is structured actually to provide a comprehensive overview of Kuala Lumpur, and also I would like to elaborate a little bit on the process of preparing the statutory local plan for Kuala Lumpur. So these two important things I will be touching in my presentation this morning. Of course, I will begin with the introduction. As you can see from the screen. Go on. The way that this is from the beginning, number one introduction, we do the introduction of the city of Kuala Lumpur, some statistics, key statistics, just a second on that. Then, after that, I will touch on the planning system in Kuala Lumpur. Probably not that many of us who are present here and present online is well aware. When was Kuala Lumpur had the planning system in place? Or maybe certain people said Kuala Lumpur has got no planning. So I will give you some information later on. Being one of the ad officers of the BKF who work with the BKF for 40 years. 40 years. My colleague also here, Hanifah, but he worked shorter than me. How long you work in the BKF? 13, huh? 40 years. So think of yourself. I don't know. So with this system in place, that I believe this the planning system that shape our cities. So it is very important for us to actually know the system. And I will then delve into this is very important for us with Kuala Lumpur 2040. This is a new date, and this is actually the second local plan that we have for Kuala Lumpur. Before that, we had one, but only last for probably 2 years. Then we have to have another one. But the plan took too long time to prepare, and some of the because of that, some of the information are actually we cannot take. So we have to have new one. Then I'll go to planning guideline, also very important, especially when we are the submitting person. We are the town planners who wanted to do submission to get the planning approval. And so Halimah said, I think they have got a lot of issues in getting the planning approval. So I may touch a little bit, why too much hassle to get planning approval. So normally it always been associated planning approval with the delay. So So I'm not sure. The delay is good or bad, I'm not sure. But to the investors, delay is always considering or incurring additional costs. So don't do it. But another bad practice of delay, impact of delay is, this I don't know whether it's happening in our country. When I was doing my master degree, delay, because of the actually incur additional costs, they allow for the negotiation. So the negotiation, which we don't want to be involved in it. Then, apart from Kuala Lumpur Local Plan and also the planning guidelines, I'm going to touch on the development control practice I mentioned a bit just now. Then after that, again, I will go and highlight the important or salient points of the new, now we are preparing, new Kuala Lumpur 2040 Local Plan. To me, this is very important because how do we read the vision of the development plan 64? Because of that, I actually take some of the important points just to show, to prove that DPKL or Kuala Lumpur City Hall is serious in translating the vision City Hall. Okay, then of course it is a very, to me, an essential aspect that we want to discuss as well. Datuk Seri Mahadi is here on the sustainable development goals. I'm not going to discuss one by one, but to me, sustainable development goals is or are integral to the realizing of the vision. Everything actually is there. So if we can implement or localize all the 17 goals, you will be rest assured that the city will be truly sustainable. But to localize all this, not very easy. Sometimes they need a lot of money. Okay, then of course, let's get on the conclusion. Right. As an introduction, the city today houses, Kuala Lumpur houses 1.98 million people. And the city provides provide employment to 875,000 individuals. The city is actually offering 530,000 more unit of housing. And the land area of the city is 223 square kilometers. At the moment, I can say this is figure I got from Minconsult Kuala Lumpur, the latest 2040. At the moment, 78 or 79% of Kuala Lumpur has been developed. So leaving not that much, the remaining area for the future development. This is some graphic to show everyone here, and also people online, the concentration of development in the city of Kuala Lumpur. So that 21% area right now, leaving behind, as we see, is actually having some critical constraint. This 30% area, 30% of the Kuala Lumpur area. So, to develop all this area, we need to have certain innovation or certain creativity, because the physical constraint can actually, if you don't know how to handle it, increase the cost. It can be productivity. Because my own experience, to get more development into some challenge area is very, very difficult. because Chala is the area, as Segambu as well, the part of Segambu, having a lot of problem in terms of physical steep slope, and certain area in part of Sirampai and Batu, they are having a physical constraint in the form of ex-mining pond. So to do development on this ex-mining pond is very critical. JPN will not allow that. Even though it is actually can be developed, but it can create a lot of sensitivity of the community. So these are the areas to me. If you develop, you will incur extra or additional costs. And the other point that I want to raise here, part of the significant portion of this land, that I call it as a developable land, is having issues on the accessibility. The road network is not that due to high terrain, difficult terrain, and the land also belongs to individuals who's going to invest a very costly financial to construct the road. So these are issues that I think that make Kuala Lumpur to have that 21% undeveloped. Otherwise, all these areas has been developed as what you can see today. Okay, so that is some of the basic or key information. But now, I will touch on another aspect, which is actually the main current issues faced by the city. This is not actually exhaustive. There are probably some other issues, but this is the main issues. Issue number one, as you can see on the screen, is never get resolved. I don't know for what reason. Maybe the Minconsult can offer certain solution to resolve the traffic congestion. Traffic congestion is still big. So if I get the right data, in 2023, drivers in Care spend 75 hours stuck in the traffic. So what's going to happen in 2024? Would that be worse or would that be better? Less. My experience traveling from Pesik Track to Kajaya to here, I think to get stuck at the point 2 hours 20 minutes because of later. Then apart from unresolved traffic congestion, we also having problems on the out-of-date solid waste disposal system. We still use that dumping ground, and to have that system in place and to check the cleanliness of the city properly, we spend 200, BBKS spend or City Hall Kuala Lumpur spend 270 million ringgit. I think it's a waste of public fund, and we have the information. Many cities, overseas especially, they have used this circular economy model. So why can't we use this action? How to actually introduce this new approach dealing with the solid waste management? Then it is of everyone's knowledge that the city now experiences high in temperature. The figure that I got, the increase in temperature, it can go as high as 2 degrees Celsius. So in years to come, I think it will be more if we don't do anything to address this. So last week, I involved in discussion with 2 teams from overseas, consultants from overseas. They are also mindful of this issue, and they want the city City Council, the Kuala Lumpur City Hall, to actually concern on the wind flow. So if we have that wind flow, not to stop it, and more trees, more shaded areas, and the orientation of the building also must be at the proper orientation that casts the more shadow on the walkways, on the cycling track and all that. And plus the undisturbed wind flow, we have the confidence the city will do. So the new concept of city planning in Kuala Lumpur must have progress. Otherwise, we will not be able to stop the rise in temperature. What more we are talking about climate change. So the carbon that we emitted every day will definitely push temperature up. And again, related to extreme weather and all that, we are facing with flash floods. And this flash flood, Professor Hepa is here. It's not an easy thing to handle, but it requires full concentration of the officer of City Hall Kuala Lumpur to make sure the drain is not blocked. Because I can see and I experience myself part of the process of the following the plastic. The plastic has come and was on the top of the scaffolding. They can effectively stop water to go through to the drain. That's the thing. If we don't take care of this properly, we will actually create the confidence level of the people that the city is not being well managed. Then, if we really don't care and we don't take extra effort to handle this, plus other issues, then the city of Kuala Lumpur, not to our surprise, will not be as what I showed you earlier. In terms of the intensity of the government, people may go to some place. Another issue is on the old dilapidating sites. This is concern, is very serious concern by the city authority or Kuala Lumpur City Hall. We have got a lot more now, dilapidated sites and old sites, but we cannot just do that. This is a very bad image to the future incoming investors. And some of the sites of this, some of these old sites, they actually located at very strategic location. Very strategic location. But because probably to develop existing site, I think impossible. Therefore, you need to have certain initiative to drive the owner to have the courage to, or to drive the investors to have the courage to develop, to redevelop. And I have seen that this Kuala Lumpur 2040 local plan, good, they are addressing this issue by offering a few types of incentive. In terms of to allow you to go for higher intensity, and also you can repurpose it with certain degree of flexibility. So I think that's good, one of the good initiative by the city. And the other aspect is on the essence of flora and fauna inventory. This is important if we are dealing with the climate change. This is important if we want to know how good the policy is in terms of absorbing carbon. So we don't have that yet, but all the issues that I mentioned, they actually have been addressed in the local plan. But before I go to the local plan, I want just to show the evolution of planning system in City Hall Kuala Lumpur. So I start in 1970, and in 1970 we have comprehensive development plan. 3 pieces of land covering 94 square miles. The zoning very simple. The zoning covers, one is on the density zoning for the residential usage. The other one, they have the land use zoning Land use zoning is determining the land use for each block in the city, commercial, residential, industrial, and others. And the other important plan is provincial zoning. And this provincial zoning, then in the old plan, only restricted to CBD area. Outside CBD, there is no provincial. And that system perceived to be not so friendly to the residents. They don't allow participation because the plan has been prepared 10 years ago in 1970. So to change the plan, you can, but you have to engage the residents who are actually bordering the site that you are submitting for the proposal to the development. So not that many people are allowed to participate. Therefore, that system to the government, also to certain group of people, not so good. Then starting from 1982, the government changed the system to be more friendly to the resident and allow public to participate in the land making process. So from 1982, because of this new system, we have got the new Act, 1982 City Planning Act, and the Act provide very clearly the proviso that allow in making the plan, the public has to be consulted, have to be told to invite them to come and participate. To me, this is very important proviso because today's vision, City for All, without good participation from the residents of Kuala Lumpur, I think we will not be able to get what is the meaning plan or sustainable city for. To get city or plan that good for all, you really need to have a lot of people from the people. So, since 1982 until 2014, we have got 3 such plans, and I don't have another local plan that was gazetted in 2018. The first of the plan, but now we are in the process of preparing another new plan. We call it Kuala Lumpur 2040 Local Plan. This is 2040 Local Plan, and the draft stage currently is in the process of, to me, coming to the end of the plan making process. That is dealing with the assessing the feedback from the residents, from the population report. So I'm quite sure some of the developers, some of the consultants who are involved in this development approval is fully aware of the process, and some of our planners are also involved to actually attend the session to present their objection or the ideas to participate and to allow to us the best usage of our land or of our clients. So without that participation, then if you rely so much on the officers of the BKL or Kuala Lumpur City Hall, I am afraid there were certain issues, certain information that will not happen. So good for us to actively participate, the developers company, or even on the individual capacity, must come up and give some feedback. Because local plan is very important document that chart the future development of the city. The plan also actually details the land use given to your own land. So if you don't participate, you don't give the right permission, you may be having problems when the plan has been accepted. So must participate and involve actively in giving the information to make the plan more, but that can also plan that safeguard our interests. So the Kuala Lumpur local plan going to be gazetted, I think, will be at the end of the year. It should not be taking too long time because the letter that has been collected to prepare the draft local plan, it was from 2020, 2020, not 2024, already 4 years. So we were to follow the approach of city planning that been adopted by City of Singapore, even Ho Chi Minh City, they are adopting agile planning. Everything they do very fast. Even I think in Singapore, every 3 years, they will review the local, they call it development, their development plan. Consistent. And not like us, to get one local plan approved, just to get it approved, to get the approval from the government, sometimes it takes 5 years. Not sure yet whether we'll come up with a new vision and do another one. Or do another small local plan. So to me, this is time for remaining some backward, because it will affect the feasibility of the land as well as the expectation of the residents of the people. So the local plan, in short, they have two components. One is very volume one that will actually give us the information on the land usage, zoning, and also intensity zone. What is different this plan from the local plan that was gazetted in 2018 is that this local plan measure the intensity using plot ratio. Last time we have to plot ratio to measure intensity for commercial land and we call it as density, population density per square acre to measure the intensity of residential area. So now there is only one scale that is plot ratio. So I think in one aspect, it also good using plot ratio because it allows you to have some flexibility in determining the size of the land. The size of the land. In use density, they actually have got assigned number per unit already. So the smallest unit will definitely put occupation rate 3% per unit. But using plot ratio, they will not be able to do that. So it's a little bit flexible. And for the area that has got high land value, I think plot ratio will be favoring your proposal. Then apart from that, for volume 2, as usual, this plan also give you certain rationale why plot ratio will assign so much on this particular plot land, and they also give you the rationale and the justification why the calculation was made and policy was proposed for certain area and all that. So volume 2 will describe in detail the justification. So these two volumes, if you were to read together, will give you a very good justification, then you will be able to understand why plot ratio as such for certain location. Now the planning guidelines, I don't want to go into detail on this one, because I will show Kuala Lumpur is having some important guidelines to be used by the relevant parties, especially consultant of that, to make sure when they are submitting the plan for the planning approval, all these guidelines plus provision in the local plan and in the subject plan, so policies in terms of plot ratio, in terms of land must be conformed with. If the element you submit without conforming to all of that, you will get pasti. Nanti don't go. So must agree the guideline as well in formulating the proposal to submit to Kuala Lumpur. It's very important to understand Kuala Lumpur Climate Action Plan. Now, climate action plan is promoting public or people of Kuala Lumpur to embrace low carbon lifestyle. Low carbon lifestyle, they will be encouraging us to do more walking, more cycling, and leave behind cars. Take more public transport. If everyone take public transport, I'm quite sure it will reduce the traffic jam. I think so. So we must have a very good, fast and efficient public transportation system in the city. At the moment, we set up one committee member to actually how to create, to improve the last mile and the first mile connectivity. But when I finished my term, I could know whether that committee still actually active in developing the infrastructure, in getting more information. How do you actually make it more friendly for the people to deal with first mile and last mile? This is the issue at the moment. And it is actually recorded in the local plan, Kuala Lumpur 2014 local plan. There will be some proposal made, but to me, if we can rely on the public transport is good, and that public transport must have a very good service, and as well as supported by last mile and first mile and efficient first mile and last mile. Then, development protocol. This is more toward how the planning department is processing or evaluating the planning submission by the landowners, by the consultants, or by the developers. So you must comply, you must have complied. To get a prompt processing, you must comply with evaluation criteria. It's nothing new. It's actually open to everyone to know what are the used, but the issue is people don't want to follow. People thought that they can use somebody else to actually be the person probably have to pay the unreasonable or to pay or give you something very extraordinary. I don't think that will happen because we have got laws. We are telling the people that this is the way we are assessing the application for the development. We are telling the people, and the people, some group of KL residents, especially Safe KL, is very active, and they really wanted to check the way that we are managing the development industry. Because to them, certain areas they will not be able to understand and have the understanding why building on the steep slope still allowed to be done. Then again, all this is actually mentioned or provided in the guidelines. So I just want to mention in Kuala Lumpur, steep slope, you can still have the because planning guideline for the development on the steep slope that been prepared by Kuala Lumpur City Hall has been discussed at the current meeting, and we are relying on engineering solutions. So you can have steep slope, development on the steep slope, but you must be ready to pay the money involved to create a safe development using engineering solutions. Engineering, anything you can do, provided you pay. You want to do the foundation, you pay. As long as you are willing to pay and in line with the intention, we can still allow them to do it. So all this need to be mindful by everyone so that we can get pass approval and more delay is not what you should want to be involved with it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the SDG is very important. We have set, Kuala Lumpur has set one center, SDG center, and to me is a very important initiative. But this center will keep and share information that what has been done by City Council, by City Hall, and other sustainable projects or other low carbon projects that be implemented for low carbon also part of SDG goals will be kept at this center, and anyone has access online to this center to share or to imitate or to follow some good practices that has been done by other group to be actually implemented somewhere else in the city or outside the city. So to me, the center is very important. You can see on the left that in the center using the old building next to independent dataran next to independent. Okay, so again, this is the main highlights of Kuala Lumpur Local Plan. I just put it in because, as I said, the vision of the plan is very unique. City for all, and that is easy to do. But then, this is the way we try our best to put that effort. How do we get good information and how do we actually plan to suit the needs of everyone? And some of it are not seen. Sometimes they have got complaining, but there must be a way to actually to propose. Okay, I think that's all I want to say. In short, please, you can give this one as part one, but I always have part two to go into the detail. And I would say, as a conclusion, that we need to support this plan. We need to participate actively so that the city council has got the right information to use and to plan the city. And also the important thing for us is that when we are participating in the meeting and the plan preparation, we must own it. So once we own the plan, if any or our neighbors are not conforming to it, converting the in-house to the workshop, you can actually tell the city council to come quickly and take action. That's what happens. The plan should be mindful, should be known to them, so that they can also be learn and function as watchdog. But important for us, the city must grow, the city must be the engine of the continuum or stagnate, and it become the engine of growth of the nation. And that will be today giving a lot of good impact to the residents, to the population of the country, and the population of the city. That is an entertainment. With that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.